Welcome back to the channel. We are back out in the gun room again today. We have got another range accessory review out. This is from Shooting Target 7, ST7 for short. They are a American company, veteran owned, so super glad to have one of their products out on the channel. So big shout out to them for sending this out for us to take a look at. But this is one of their half-inch AR500 Bullseye silhouette targets. So this is a 12 by 24 inch silhouette, but this is one of their Bullseye gongs. So it comes with a 6-inch target that fits like this, and then you have kind of like a Bullseye flapper. Now, these targets here, all this steel is made in America, so you're getting the best of the best. Laser cut, so you've got minimal heat transfer into the steel targets. Very nice radiused, contoured ears on the targets for hanging. Definitely like that. Good mounting holes. You've got a few different options. Now this thing weighs quite a bit, so I can't exactly manipulate it too well on the camera, but you got your two ears here and then the single one up top. So a few different mounting options for being able to shoot this. However, we are going to use one of their ultra mega static mounts. So I'm really interested to see that and show you all. Their mounts are really nice. I really like that design. But this here will mount like this, and we are going to use this particular single hole up here to use one of their mega mounts on a T-post. So this target comes with all the chains you need and hardware. Now here is the mount. So let me get this in the camera for you guys. This thing is really cool. So I've seen this, and I'm always interested in different ways of mounting targets. Now, yes, I am lucky enough to have my own range, so definitely blessed in that regard. So I use T-posts to set most of my targets. I can set them, forget them. These are cool because you can put them on and take them off. So if I want to move different targets between different T-posts, maybe I'm putting some on the rifle range or I'm taking something back to the pistol range, I have that ability. But let's say, for instance, that you're working at a different range. You have access to a range, but it's not yours. You can also change out these spacers and open this up, and this will actually slide over a 2x4 as well. So very cool design, very cool design. I like that. And you have some 1.2 inch holes here, so you can slip a piece of 1-inch conduit through, so you can put hanger targets between two of these. I really like that. That's a great idea. You can also stick about a 2x3 block of wood through here if you wanted to hang another target that way. But one target holder is giving you multiple different ways of hanging a target. That's really good value. These are also American made, so high quality stuff. All the hardware comes with it. And probably one of the biggest things that I wanted to mention that I have never seen, I don't know of any other manufacturer that does this, but the main silhouette here is zinc coated. So this silver is zinc. I'm really interested to see how well that holds up. If that comes off, I wouldn't think it would come off. I believe in their product literature, they say that it lasts the life of the target. I mean, that's pretty cool, because if that's the case, this won't ever rust. That's really neat. That's a kind of a detail point that you don't see in a lot of other targets, because most targets are either they've got a thick powder coat on them, or of course, obviously, like I've been doing the last 10 years here at the Hide, I paint my targets. So, but as soon as you shoot them, it blows the powder coat or the paint off. With this here, it should not do that. So very interested to see how well that holds up. So with that being said, I'm going to get this put together, and we will get a T-post drove in the ground back at the Hide, and we'll put some rounds on steel. All right, so we got our ST7 Bullseye silhouette mounted on our mega mount. So I have to say, it is definitely a nice looking target. But here is the mount. So like I said, with these spacers that I have them set up this way, it just slips directly over top of a T-post, and you can take that on and off. Or if you wanted to put these spacers inside of here, it would spread this open and you could put it on a 2x4, which could make it a lot more portable. Then you could just build like a small, cheap little 2x4 stand for it on the bottom, and you could tote it around from range to range as needed. the mount here, so it does put it at a very nice angle. So all the spall is going to hit the ground. And the button bolt up here, you can see how that mounts. You just put the nut inside that little groove, and this piece here interfaces with the target and the mega mount. And then that acorn style bolt there will help to deflect rounds from beating the head of that bolt off too. So that's pretty nice. But let's see if we can do something about this finish. So let's get back to the bench. 9mm up first. All right, so we are at 15 yards here on the pistol range. Let's try some 9mm 115 grain ball. Not too bad, not too bad. It's definitely fun hitting that bullseye. All right, we got moved back to 100 yards here. Got some rounds loaded up in our test mule AR. So let's put some 5.56 on this target and see how it does. All right, so let me go grab another rifle. Let's put another 10 rounds on the target. All right, to finish this initial test off, we're gonna hit it with some M80 ball out of our Arrow M5. All right, let me grab the camera. I'm gonna reposition it down over the target. Let's see how it did. Okay, so here's our target after testing, and I do apologize. I was actually at 75 yards, not 100. I relazed, and it is 75. I don't shoot that far back on the pistol range that much, so I wasn't totally for sure, but after grabbing the rangefinder, we was at 75 yards. So definitely can take that into consideration with the M80, but the 9mm, of course, didn't even phase it. I'm certain that's probably what that is. Now the smaller dents that 5.56 made, not even an issue. But now the M80, of course, at 75 yards, that was probably a pinch close, so definitely do not try that at home. But however, even at 75 yards, it just barely marked the target. Now it did hit here on the edge. That is perfectly normal. You're going to have that on any target. But the one thing that I was most interested to see was how this finish held up after being shot. And you can see, even with those big indentations, the big scratches from those M80 rounds, it still looks like that zinc is there. So I guess it's impregnated into the steel fairly far. So if that's the case, that is absolutely amazing. But nonetheless, I'm going to put the link to this down in the description. If you're interested in these targets, get on their website. They actually have a distance and thickness calculator that you could reference. So 75 yards is probably a little bit close for those rounds, but however, it held up very nicely. But if you got any questions on this, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit me up down below. And as always, shoot straight. Later.